Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you. On behalf of the University of Guam Board of Regents and the University President, Dr. Robert Underwood, who is currently off island, I would like to thank you for making the time from your busy schedule to attend the 10th presentation of the University of Guam's Presidential Lecture Series. The Presidential Lecture Series allows the university to bring in special guest speakers who are experts in their areas to share information and encourage open dialogue. At this time, I'd like to thank our co-sponsors for this event, the Guam Bar Association, Judiciary of Guam, and the District Court of Guam. Please give them a hand. Now, for your information, how we normally hold these type of sessions for those who have never attended, when the guest speaker is providing the lecture, we have two personnel, one at each end, and in this case, we have Maria Sensen, to your left, my right, and we have Hannah Gutierrez Arroyo, your right, my left, for 3x5 cards. At any time, you can flag them down. They'll give you a pencil, and you can write your questions down. We will collect them in the order that they give them to me. And as long as I can read it, I will read it for the guest speaker to respond. And we're grateful for the opportunity to have this particular guest speaker as our 10th lecturer today. Here to introduce our guest speaker today is the Chief Prosecutor and Guam Bar Association Treasurer and former student of our guest speaker, Phil Panico.
Thank you. It is my distinct privilege and honor, and also my pleasure, to say a few words by way of background. I also want to thank President QB, Cynthia QB of the Guam Bar, for allowing me this pleasure of introducing our distinguished speaker. It's true, I'm probably the oldest of his UH students here today. And so it's my pleasure and privilege to say a few words about him. Professor John Van Dyke has been on the faculty of the University of Hawaii William S. Richardson School of Law since 1976, teaching constitutional law, international ocean law, and international human rights. He's a graduate of Yale University, and he got his law degree from Harvard Law School. He has written 6 books: North Vietnam Strategy for Survival, it's 1972, Jury Selection Procedures are Uncertain Communities to Representative Panels, Sharing the Resources of the South China Sea as a co-author, Who Owns the Crown Lands of Hawaii as recent as 2008. He's also written a book on international law litigation in the U.S. as a co-author, and Checklist for Searches and Seizures in Public Schools, varied topics. A well-rounded law scholar, constitutional law scholar, and international scholar, has also written numerous articles, and he's also been a recipient of the University of Hawaii Presidential Citation for Excellence in Teaching, and has been selected outstanding professor at the law school on many occasions. And come this spring, will be a visiting professor at the University of Hawaii at Berkeley in spring 2011. Professor Van Dyke also started as a law clerk for the Chief Justice Roger Traynor of the California Supreme Court. He has served as the University of Hawaii's Law School Associate Dean, as well as the University of Hawaii's representative of the Executive Board of the Law C Institute, as director of the Spark M. Matsunaga Institute for Peace, and an adjunct research associate fellow at the East-West Center, even as of today. And so it's my privilege and distinct pleasure to introduce our University of Guam 10th Presidential Lecture by Constitutional Law, John Van Dyke, on the subject of the status of Guam and Chamorro people under United States and international law. Let's please give him a welcome.
Before Professor Van Dyke comes up, I'd like to make an introduction of our special guest today. First, I'd like to introduce to you Chairman Peter Sonny Atta, University of Guam Board of Regents. Vice Chairman Chris Perez, University of Guam Board of Regents. Ms. Cynthia Hansen, Treasurer for the University of Guam Board of Regents. Attorney Cynthia Ikube, President for the Board of Trustees. Attorney Philip Panico, Treasurer for the Board of Trustees. Attorney Maria Sensen, Secretary for the Board of Trustees. The Honorable Dan Pangilinan, Senator, 30th Guam Legislature. The Honorable Yoshiyuki Kimura, Consul General, Consulate of Japan. Hannah Gutierrez Arroyo, the Clerk of Court, Supreme Court of Guam. Vernon Perez, Judge, Superior Court of Guam. Richard Benson, Judge and Justice Pro Tem, Judiciary of Guam. Ms. Doris Flores Brooks, Public Auditor, Office of the Public Auditor. Mr. Michael Nesperos, Director, Public Defender, Service Corporation. Ms. Marceline Santos, Public Guardian, Office of the Public Guardian. And without further ado, Professor Van Dyke.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me up here. It's a great honor to see so many old friends and to make new friends. Aloha, aloha mai kako, and hapa. I want to just also introduce my wife, Sherry Broder, who's here in the center, and she and I work together on a lot of the issues that I'm going to be talking about, and she's been particularly active with the Native Hawaiians and trying to promote reconciliation between the Native Hawaiian community in the United States, and that's one of the issues that sort of underlies what I'm going to be talking about here today. Great, yeah. So, nobody go to sleep now, but I'm going to turn that light down a little bit. And I'm going to talk about a series of interrelated issues, and there's a lot to cover, so I hope you'll ask questions as we go along and at the end, because I'm going to try to put out a lot of information that I think is relevant to the topics we're going to talk about, and I hope that they'll seem coherent, but it's going to be a number of different topics that we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about the rights of indigenous people and the rights of non-self-governing people under both U.S. and international law, and then ultimately the status of Guam and what how we should go forward in dealing with the status of Guam. So first, the non-self-governing people. Probably the greatest accomplishment of the United Nations in its existence since World War II has been the transformation of the world from a world with European empires controlling most of the rest of the world to a world of independent countries. And we've seen throughout Africa and Asia and in Oceania the movement toward independence and self-government throughout the world, but Guam is still one of the 16 political communities that is listed under the United Nations as a non-self-governing place, because, of course, Guam does not vote for the U.S. president, Guam does not have a person in Washington with a vote, and so Congress can pass laws affecting Guam without Guam having any real input into what those laws are. And so Guam is a colony. Under U.S. law, we call it an unincorporated territory, but it's still in this colonial status. Now, this is a picture I took a couple years ago at the United Nations when I was there. And it's too big for you to see right now, but I'm going to do a blow-up here of the Pacific to show that Guam is highlighted here in red as one of the non-self-governing places, along with American Samoa, Tokelau, New Caledonia. Now, interestingly, the Northern Marianas are not in red.